you learn from your mistakes, and then you build something better the third time. Make connections at uni, speak to professors, learn new topics, learn the academic method. I like making software, but I like it because it's a fun thing to go through the process of talking to a client, from the beginning stage to the end stage. That, for me, was fun.
Kia ora whānau. I hope you've been doing well wherever it's now the time that you're watching or listening to this podcast. I'm excited to have a good guest here in the studio, but let me introduce my co-host, Rata. How are you doing today?
I'm very, very good. I'm very excited. It's nice to be back in the studio, and I'm really looking forward to our corridor today.
Yeah, so been a while for doing
Yeah, it
interviews,
has, yeah.
right? Cool. Let's find out more. So, we every time bring you different stories and different guests and different topics. Today, behind the scenes, we were first talking about banana. Surprise at that. So we have a great guest here, Nikolas. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you, man. Doing awesome.
Tell us, what was the story of behind the scenes? We were talking about banana fights.
Well, see, just before we started rolling today, just before the camera started going, they asked me during the sound check, what did you have for breakfast this morning?
Yeah.
And
you start promoting it, be passionately talking about it. You
I
just
know.
get angry, man.
I can talk about it. Yeah. I can pitch you this fried banana. Trust me. So yeah, I had fried banana for breakfast. I thought it was really delicious. So yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Right. That's awesome. Welcome, Nikolas. It's glad to know your story. But today we found the opportunity, to have this corridor and have this podcast to find out more. So we start by this. We give you the mic, and how you would love to introduce yourself.
Just let me freestyle?
Yeah,
Yeah, let's do it.
So,
Cool, yeah. So my name is Nikolas Hardwick. I'm 18 years old, and I'm a student at Victoria University of Wellington. But people really know me because I actually founded and now continue to run a software company called Quela, Quela.io. This one, super cool, right? It's on my shirt. Hope the camera can see that one. Good marketing, right? Yeah. So I run that company, and I make software for enterprise clients. Pretty cool.
amazing. So, Nikolas, before we talk about the work and things, so now you say you're is it your first year at uni?
Yes, my first year.
Right. Wow. So there's a kind of see passion and journey. What was your journey, let's say, from high school to uni, and why you decided you built that little business that you have?
Yeah, so I originally started Quela in high school, in year 12. Yeah, at Hutt Valley High School, actually, here in Wellington.
Wow.
Pretty cool. I just moved over from the UK. I'm from London. And, Quela was my third business that I tried to create. Mm-hmm. My first two failed spectacularly, as they usually do, but you know what they say, it's a learning lesson. You learn you learn from your mistakes, and then you build something better the third time. And so when I founded Quela in year 12 of high school, its mission was very simple. We just made websites. That's it. We made websites and only websites. And it worked. Unlike my first two, Quela actually made money, which was awesome. And I was really happy. And so year 12, year 13, I kind of discovered a lot about myself and worked really hard over those years and really did not give a single damn about school, right? But, who does now, right, if they're running their own business? So, yeah, really focused doing that, really had a lot of fun. And then by the time year 13 was ending, I'm thinking, what do I do with myself? I can go to uni. I could not go to uni. I could just run Quela full time. And, in year 12, I was kind of this uni hater. I believed that, why would I go to university? Why would I do any of this? Why would I pay money and get in student debt, to do this? But by the time year 13 had rolled around, I was in the position to just pay for uni with company money, which was great. It's $9,000 a year. Actually really affordable in this country. Kids, count your blessings. It's really great, really affordable. Even with halls, if you're going to halls, I'm not going to halls. No way. I need to have my own space, right? My own little house. I flat in Eastbourne. And when I was at that crossroads, I decided, why not bite the bullet, go to uni, make connections at uni, speak to professors, learn new topics, learn the academic method. And most of all, my company is a software company now. When I was in year 13, we started developing software. We kind of branched off from just websites. And you know what has a lot of software engineers? Mm-hmm. University. Mm-hmm. So Any software engineers at Vic, please hit me up, you know.
Oh,
And I'm
right.
still looking for them. I have been looking for them and I still am. So
So
that's
you-
another reason why I went there.
So you also offer work opportunities.
Yep. Yep.
Wow, that's all exciting. But you still want to get back to the original story. It's the passion.
Mm.
How it started, like when you were at uni or high school. You said, so what was something you say? I really want to do this. I like this. And why software world? Like why not something else? Why choose technology?
Truth is, I chose software because it was just a market that I could have gone into. I like making software, but I like it because it's a fun thing to go through the process of talking to a client from the beginning stage to the end stage. That, for me, was fun. Talking to the client, getting the money, delivering the project, that was fun. I didn't care what vehicle I used to get there. For me, growing the company was like a game. It still is like a game. You know, you want to see the number go higher, the money rising. That's all you care about, really. And building that culture and, you know, with that mission of, hey, I want to be someone. The whole reason I started any of this is because I wanted to be someone special. I wanted to be something. I wanted to start a company. I knew that for sure. How could I get rich? Well, I had to start a company. And it was never about getting rich. It was never about the money. It was about doing something special. And I think that's what really drove me in year 12, kept me going in year 13. And now that I'm in uni, my focus has expanded massively. I'm going into huge new industries, things that are really interesting for me. I'll talk about those later, right? Yeah. And, you know, the passion is still there, and I think it will always be there, most definitely. It is still work. Don't get it wrong. Sometimes I hate going on calls and, you know, having to work until 1 a.m. in the morning because my clients are in the United States of America. You know, things like this, because the time zones don't match, I have to stay up. It's the hard yards, but we have to do it. And I think that's what makes it really enjoyable.
Cool. Yeah.
I'm really impressed by your story, but also even from this conversation, just like hearing and feeling in the corridor how much drive you have, how much passion, and I guess in some ways it's quite set apart from a lot of your peers. I feel like, you know, you're talking about high school and being like you weren't focused on the grades necessarily, but you kind of always had this drive in you to be someone. And so I was wondering if you didn't mind talking just a little bit about what was before that, what were those previous flops, and how did you learn from those failures, and kind of what got you into that journey of Quela?
So I've never really talked about these companies outside of personal discussions. So let's say this is my first, you know, official CEO talk about what were the first two companies. Here we go, guys. So the first one was called Be Better, Bebettr, Be Better. And it was a drop shipping store. Yes, that's right. I tried that. No, it didn't work. No, don't do it. It doesn't work in 2025. For those watching who are interested in that, who kind of know what I'm on about. No. So that didn't work. And I was trying to sell like, you know, resistance bands and little weights and kind of like health stuff so you could be better. Obviously, I knew nothing about, you know, selling things, but that was a learning experience. You know, made the Shopify site. Kind of discovered that, hey, we're pretty good at this, right? Maybe that making the Shopify site for the business brought us into website making in the early days of Quela 2 years ago. Who knows? That could have tied in. So the second company after we shut down Be Better was called Brand Launch. Now, for the initiated of those who know me, you'll know that Quela is a registered entity under Brand Launch Limited. I don't know if you found that during your due diligence. So Brand Launch Limited, UK-based company. And we started off as just Brand Launch, that we were trading under that. And we wanted to sell everything. If you go on the Wayback Machine and you go to Brand Launch, it's gobrandlaunch.co. Really bad domain, so long. That's another reason why we got rid of that domain. We wanted to sell everything. We wanted to sell GFX. We wanted to sell development. We wanted to sell websites. We wanted to sell so many different things because that's what we knew how to do generally, roughly. We'd flesh it out later once we got the clients was the big idea. But then I discovered that starting that company and then trying to grow it, you know, trying to sell all these things to, you know, I had no reputation. I couldn't do warm approaches. Every approach was a cold approach. And trying to go in like that was dumb. It never worked. Every time I tried it, it didn't work. I got shot down every single time. And the thing is, I tried to be everything when in reality, I should have specialized in one thing and stuck with it. And that's exactly what we did when we rebranded to Quela and started trading under Quela, Quela.io. Still under brand launch, by the way. That's still the company that owns it. That's probably going to change. Maybe when this video comes out, we are registering in New Zealand now from the UK, and we're going to shut down that UK company because HMRC sucks. Any business owner in the room will know what I'm talking about if they've registered in the UK. Awful to deal with. But that's, that's later on legal, regulatory sort of stuff that impacts you later on in your business journey that I'm kind of facing right now. So yeah, it was that which drove it. Be Better and brand launch. And brand launch, both of them failed.
Now Quela.
Now Quela. And Quela's working.
And what's
Yay.
the story of Quela? How the name came to?
So the name is really awesome. Let me ask you, do you want the reason that I say on podcasts and to the press, or do you want the real reason?
No, we need the real reason.
Okay, let me say the fake reason first.
We need the real first.
There's a great reason why I do this, right?
Yeah.
So the reason that I tell the press is because Quela, take that in mind. My co-founder, his name's Avanish, great guy, a tech wizard, way smarter than me, I will say, my CTO. Mr. Avanish, great guy. If you follow Quela on LinkedIn, you'll know who he is. And he is obviously Indian. He lives in India. And we've been working together for a very long time, running Quela. Now, he speaks Hindi. And when we were working on brand launch, we were looking for a new name because we knew brand launch was too long. We couldn't get a good domain. Brandlaunch.com was taken. Brandlaunch.io was taken. Brandlaunch.ai was taken. All of these domains were taken. So we said, what are we going to do now? We have to shorten the name. GoBrandlaunch.co is too long. What are we going to do? So we started trialing names. We started trialing every name that sounded okay until Avanish brought up a Hindi name, which was Quela. Quela. I don't know if I'm saying that wrong. Apologies to any Hindi speakers who I might be butchering this, but Quela means coal. And Quela is literally a English character written down of the word Quela, which means coal. So ask me, why would you call it coal?
Why would you call it coal?
Why would I call my company coal? What a great question. C, I have a science question for you guys. What element is coal made out of?
From Quela.
My science is really struggling right now.
It's okay, I got you. It's carbon.
Carbon, yes,
Coal
yes.
is just a big black lump of carbon. Just carbon, the element. It's very pure, actually. So what happens now? I have another science question for you. What happens to carbon when you put it under intense pressure and heat? What happens?
You know this one?
Does she know in the bag? What happens to carbon under intense pressure and heat?
Diamonds.
You get diamonds, correct. Yeah. So the idea was you put Quela under intense pressure and heat, and we make diamonds for you.
Oh, wow.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It's so nice, right? It's great for the
Now,
press.
dun,
Now,
dun,
the real reason we called it Quela is because Quela.io is really easy to search up and ranks really high on Google. So that's the real reason. I'm gonna keep it a buck, right? Yeah, that was the real reason.
No, great
Those are
reasons.
two great reasons,
Yeah.
though.
Two great reasons,
Legit,
and
legit.
the Quela thing isn't fake. I didn't pull that out of my no. That's real. That's a real thing. Yeah.
No, great story. Good.
Thank
That's
you.
good.
No worries.
That's good. So you say you have a co-founder. So when you started this, how did you start with a group, or you were just two people, or you came up with the idea? How things started?
It was me and Avanish and another guy. The other guy left very early into the journey, and he would not like to be credited, so I won't say his name here. He knows who he is.
Yeah.
He still follows along, and so it was me and Avanish, and we originally started by running a Discord server. We were gamers. I was 13, 14. We were gamers, and we ran a Discord server. And this Discord server grew in members massively because we ran it like an actual company. We had our members, we had our admin staff, we had all of this. Yeah, proper Discord mod stuff. Gen Z guys will be laughing at me so hard. But there's a reason. There's a reason I did this. We grew it, and we advertised it, and we marketed it, and we did everything. And we grew to 6,000 members in this server, in this one Discord server. And so we thought, wow, this is so much. We're actually paying people to moderate this and, advertise it and keep it up. And we're trying to get Discord partnering and everything. And then we kind of realized, hey, why are we wasting our time doing this when we could just build an actual company and make real money? And so we then started our first company, Be Better.
Okay. Great. Awesome. One more question from me, Nikolas, which is, now, what I see from me, there's a kind of you're really passionate about what you're doing, and then But still, one thing, as a young person who started, how did you balance it between you study and the work you've been doing, building those stuff? Because you still made it to uni. There was something how you made your grades. How did you balance that?
So the truth is,
Yeah.
I didn't. I did not balance it at all. I didn't pay any attention in school. I didn't care. I was always one of those kids that was not able to just not study at all. I didn't do any revision, and I still passed all the exams. If I wanted to, I could have studied and got great grades, and I did in some subjects, which I actually cared about. But that was DTech, digital technology, which is exactly what I'm doing at Quela.
Yeah.
So you'd hope that I'd get excellences in that subject, anyways, right? Considering I run a software company. So yeah, DTech got excellences in. The other subjects, no, I didn't care for. And I studied, 1 week before the final exam, perhaps, and I still passed it. And then they told me, hey, you can go to uni. And I said, oh, great, let's do it. Alongside all the other stuff I said earlier. Yeah. I always focused on Quela. I was certain, absolutely certain that Quela would work. I would not accept reality where it didn't. I didn't care if I failed all of my exams. I did not accept a reality where it wouldn't work, and I was so certain about it, and I focused all of my energy into that.
Right. So that's something between, let's say, that may not work for all, because there's a lot of young people who they love study, who they're into study, and there's a lot of them whose school may be not something for them. Maybe they will find their passion through work, through another habit. I think we did also had another guest that was awesome. He had also his own business, and now it's growing business. He also said school was not for me, but he quit from the school so he can focus on the business. But what is interesting for me in your story that you still doing that, but I think you touched by is that you went to uni because you also want to make connection here. So talking about connection and community, how that's important for you while doing a business as well, having connection and community.
That's a great question, actually. Yeah, a lot of people decided that school wasn't for them. I was also one of those. And I don't recommend you take this path. If you're watching this,
everyone's different.
Everyone's different, please. I took that path because of my very specific circumstances that only applied to me. But for other people, I don't recommend you do. I recommend you stay on this path. And you know what? The reason that I didn't leave school is because my mother didn't let me. Quite frankly, I probably would have dropped out if given the chance, and that would have been a wrong move. That would have been a really wrong move, because now I'm in uni and I'm doing better than ever. So thanks, mother, actually. Appreciate that, mum. So listen to your mum, actually, guys. Real talk. Listen to your mother. She prevented me from dropping out. And now I'm in uni, and touching about the connections, how did it help you? Have you ever heard the phrase, it takes a village to raise a baby?
Yep.
Think of a company as the same thing. A company, any successful business, is built on a million favors. A million billion favors all at once. And it's the same nowadays. I'm going to be asking loads of favors. I have asked loads of favors. I've repaid loads of favors. Everything works on favors. You'd think that it's money. Nah. Most people can't afford to, do that sort of stuff. I couldn't afford that in the beginning. I couldn't afford consultants. I couldn't afford, people to tell me what to do. No, I had to ask favors from people, and I only got those through connections. Only connections allowed me to expand my network, to get clients, to, peer review me. My clients would tell their friends who would become my clients. This rapidly compounding effect just helped me grow, and that's what did it.
Absolutely, love that. That's great. You want to go?
I was going to say, it just really strikes me. I find it really interesting how. What really strikes me about what you just said is you've got the software company, you've got this really strong tech focus, and yet it seems, from chatting to you, and it seems from everything you've said, that that you and this business is really about people in a lot of ways. That you enjoy the client interaction, getting this across, connecting with people, and that's been a big part of it. So I just wondered how you found those two aspects, both of like the developing the tech side, but also the people side of business, of how you learned those skills, and how you've gotten to where you are today from that perspective.
Great question. I'd like to preface this by saying people make businesses what they are. For example, for a very long time, the chairman of Boeing wasn't even an engineer. He was a salesman. See how well that went. And I think it's the same here. I am not the best programmer at Quela by a long shot. My employees, the people that I've hired, they would code circles around me. I can still code. I can still design. I can still talk to clients, right? I can still do all these things. But now I'm hiring people who have PhDs and I'm hiring people who have master's degrees to replace me in this. And I think people make an organization what it is. Even Avanish, he is way better at technical than me. And so I feel my role as, you know, what I'm doing now is I'm more of a spokesperson. I get clients, I go to meetings, I speak at shows, I speak at podcasts, I go on the radio, I go on TV, all these things, because that helps me promote Quela. Everyone needs to find their own role. What can they do? I don't really code client software anymore. That's not my job anymore. And it's the people that I bring in who really help me to get this done. And I really want to build this culture. I want to build this community. I want to do grad programs at Quela. I want to do internships, more internships. I already have interns coming at Quela right now. They're getting their 400-hour requirement for Vic. And I want to keep doing this. You know, Zero just pulled out of their grad program.
Wow.
Who's going to fill that gap? Me. I want to be in this Wellington community. Wellington says that they want tech jobs. Okay, right here, guys.
Cool.
Right here, guys. Me. Yeah.
So talking on that one, what is coming up? What kind of opportunities is for people who are listening or watching this podcast?
So would you say opportunities in terms of
In terms
Quela
of
or
like,
general?
No, specific for the Quela, the company.
So we do a lot of internships. We've just started doing internships with software engineering and cybersecurity, which are areas that the company is very interested in getting into, especially cybersecurity. Wink, wink, no leaks there. Next up, you know, we've got, you know, I'm really interested in HR because now I'm trying to get more people on and I'm trying to gather more people together. If you're a senior person in the Wellington area, I want an advisory board. I'm looking for an advisory board full of VCs, full of people who have worked in this industry for a long time, who can advise me, who have, you know, lots of years of experience. It takes a village to raise a company, I'll say. And I need to ask favors from people. I need to pay money to people. I need to do all this. There's a lot of opportunities, and especially in AI, if you work in AI, if you're a researcher in AI who I haven't already spoken to, maybe you're at Auckland or AUT or you're in Dunedin and you're watching this, please speak to me. I want to speak to you. If you do computer science, if you do software, if you do AI or cybersecurity, that's what I'm really interested in right now.
How they reach out to you? Do you have a website? And
yeah,
so we can put it under this description of this video.
Quela.io. Quela.io. It's that easy. It's, you know, it's like 5 letters.
Amazing.
Yeah. And, you know, you can always call me. I've got my LinkedIn. My phones are open. My DMs are open all day, every day. I respond very quickly, especially if it's on Instagram. People more my age like to contact me on Instagram. People more my client's age like to contact me usually through LinkedIn. I'm quite big on LinkedIn. I do a lot of stuff there.
Cool. We will take you there as well.
Yeah.
Amazing. We are coming to end of this point. We'll check with Rata if you have any one more or 2 questions.
I was just wondering about, you've talked about a little bit, but more about your future and the future of where you see Quela going in the future.
So this is a great question, actually. I was looking forward to a question like that. Currently, I'm very interested in diversifying Quela. As you know, we started with websites. Then we do software. That's what we're doing now. We're fulfilling software contracts. And, you know, they're kind of one-off things, or they'll be one-off with maintenance, and we're working with companies in and around Lower Hutt, in and around Wellington, India, UK, Australia. These are our main markets. Soon, we will be expanding to new industries, namely AI and cybersecurity. We will be launching new products, and this is kind of a drop now. I can kind of very much affirm this. I can't quite comment yet, but we're looking into the cybersecurity and IoT space as our main areas of expansion. We want to start making physical things. We want to start making all of this. And we're going to be doing this within the next 12 months.
Amazing.
Yeah. We've kind of adopted a new policy. I call it lightning speed. I want to move at lightning speed. So if someone's a trailblazer out there and they want to join me or can help me in any way on this mission, contact me. Yeah? And that's what we're looking into. We want to get into that and we want to expand. into the Chinese market as well. And I'm doing this through uni. Can you believe this? I'm doing it through uni. I'm going on exchange, and whilst I'm there, I will be expanding into the Chinese market using my skills as, I know how to speak Chinese pretty well. I've been doing it since I was 6. And I want to expand into that and get into that amazingly big, massive market, which is the future of, world trade. Yeah.
Amazing.
Gosh, I would just ask next, you've got so much experience and it's so exciting hearing where you're going. What would you say to young people like yourself, or just anyone who wants to start a business in New Zealand, who wants to start something new, who wants to be a trailblazer? What advice would you give them?
Don't procrastinate. Start now. Because if you don't start, someone else is going to do it before you. Quite honestly, quite seriously, you need to be there first, because every second that you spend in the field is 1 second that you have over someone else. That's 1 second you have is what will help you learn and help you grow and help you develop in your industry, whatever industry you choose. You can switch industries. You can start something now, decide you don't like it, and change it later. Just start now, right now. Do it.
Great. Amazing, Nikolas. Look, we can go talk, I think, for hours. I see the passion there. I see the energy.
I can keep yapping, man. Yeah.
So, look, this was a great conversation. But before we close up, I asked interesting. So, what do you think about Wellington as a place doing business? Hope you don't run as well. We're talking about business can expand, but we're talking. What do you think about Wellington here as doing business?
I like it. Quite honestly, I do like it.
Great.
And that's not just because Creative HQ and Wellington and Zed follow me and look at my posts. I see you guys. It's because I do like it. I think it's a nice little place. It's very small. And I think coming to Wellington has helped me in a lot of ways. I think because the community here is so small, when I first started coming to shows at age 16, I was skipping class at Hutt Valley High School. I was skipping class, sorry teachers, and coming down to Growth Jam and coming down to Creative HQ events. I was skipping class and going there, and people started to know me. There were some events that I couldn't come to because I wasn't 18 and they had alcohol. It's things like this, right? But I tried my very hardest. And I think because the community was so small and so tight-knit, word of me spread really fast. Most people in Wellington know who I am, and I know who most people in Wellington are. Yeah. A lot of my friends and my clients and colleagues and everyone else will be watching this. Hi, guys.
Amazing.
And, I think that's really important. They check out my posts, they see what I write, and I think being in this small, tight-knit community really helped me grow. Yeah.
And Nikolas, I know also you won some awards. Do you want to quickly talk about those awards, the things you've been winning? Yeah,
it's cool. Hey, I was in Yes in year 13, and that was fun. We did a lot of Yes stuff. I didn't actually end up winning the Innovation National Excellence Award, which I was pretty pissed about. But it's fine, right? It's cool. It's cool. Yeah. I wanted to win that one. That was like my crown jewel, but another company won it. GG. Good job, guys. I won that. I won some awards in Yes. That was fun. Next one was, I think there was some online ones which we won some in. Another one was King's Trust. Was really cool working with those guys. Wouldn't call that an award. Tahakano is very cool though. The Tahakano wasn't active when I was there, but it's fine. I didn't really need Tahakano seed funding. They can give you up to $20,000, the King's Trust, with the Tahakano. That's what I'm talking about. So if you're an aspiring young entrepreneur, please go and do their enterprise workshops. I will keep wrapping King's Trust till the end. Young enterprise, please, if you're a year 12 or year 13 doing business, please do young enterprise, or just join business class, drop one of your other subjects like classics and do business and, do something that's really fun, because Yes will teach you a lot about entrepreneurship. So big ups to the Yes guys. TEDx, cool. Real cool stuff. TEDx Paparangi, I met you there, didn't I?
That's right, that's where we met first. Exactly.
Met you in TEDx, and I'm still friends with some of the speakers that were on there. A lot of the guys who were on stage at TEDx were my mates, my business friends.
It's happening again, which is, I think it's September, it's coming back again.
It's pretty cool.
Awesome. I think this is coming to the end of this podcast, but we are looking forward to maybe have more conversation in the future and look at more things that you will be doing and the developments you take within your passion, the Quela, and the things that you're creating. What is great is to see some young people like you have a passion to start things, to give things a go and also try everything, that's the beauty of life, beauty of doing things. So good on you. And,
Well said. Well said. Thank you.
Congrats on what you're doing, and also whoever's watching and things. I think whatever pathway, if it's education or if it's study or if it's even sport, as a good the message is that do something, keep it going, ask someone. I'm sure there's a lot of nice people around us that they will help, they will advise, they may be mentor, because we start by knowing people. I think your story is all about you put yourself going there to meet this and that and that. So that's how connections grow, and that's also the passion give you to keep going. So thank you so much, Nikolas, for this opportunity to have this conversation here today and highlight a good story of such a young man like you.
Thank you,
Wishing
man.
you all the best.
Yeah, making me blush, Brian.
No, you're doing great. So, Nikolas, in this season, we do have this tradition, some of the previous guests maybe left a question for you. We will also have a chance to write a question for next guest coming up.
Surely I can write a question.
Yeah, let's see first. What is the question left
What's
for
a
you?
good question I can write?
Let's first answer this one.
Okay, let's answer the one they left. Let's go.
What will you do to uphold the rights of children and young people more in your community?
The rights of
Interesting.
children and young people in your community.
Interesting. I think as someone, I'm not really in that social enterprise space, but I don't think that exempts me from upholding not only just basic personal responsibilities, but, as a company, we donate to charity, we follow these sort of things. I think it's really important. For example, I wouldn't work with a company that was, known for doing wrong things. I wouldn't work with a company that sold illegal items. I wouldn't work with a company that, went against my personal ethos. And, at Quela, my personal ethos basically is the company's ethos. I won't work with, adult explicit content stuff. I won't work with weapons. I won't work with, these sorts of things. And I think if we're talking about kids, if we're talking about, basic civil rights, if there was a way that I could get involved with that, then I would. And I actually am really good friends with the guys at Youthline. I've been volunteering before. SVA is really cool. I'm in Wellington Plus. I do Wellington International Leadership in Wellington Plus. These are one things that I do. I'm not massive in this space. I'm not going to say that I'm huge. But, I think I try. And I think if people just put in a little bit of effort, then that makes a huge difference. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well said. Awesome. Thank you so much.
No worries.
So that's the end of the podcast for today. Appreciate it,
Sweet.
Koro.
Sweet. Appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Lovely shack. Mike's in the
Kakite.
way.
Thank
See
you.
ya.
Kakite.
Kakite.
See you guys.